2012 legislative session. It's good the cuts to schools and colleges weren't as bad as they thought they'd be. But school funding in Colorado right now isn't okay, and what happened in this building this year isn't going to change things at my school. Here's why I started Douglas County Kid Campaign. I saw the changes being made in my middle school between larger class sizes and cuts in electives, teachers, and athletics. As I followed the ballots and saw they didn't pass, I wanted to change that. The perception of this generation is that we are careless, ignorant, and disrespectful, but in reality, we are caring, engaged, and committed to furthering our education. I wanted to make a difference and show kids to care about their education. I'm not alone in fighting to fund our schools better. All of us are here today to announce the 2013 Year of the Student campaign. We're here to kick off an 8-month effort to join together the voices of the hundreds of thousands of Coloradans who support public education to make sure that the 2013 legislative session does make a difference for every student in school and college. We'll be calling on next year's legislature to do more than to cut less or apply Band-Aids. We need a bigger plan that will fit together all the pieces of the education puzzle from preschool through higher education. Our speakers will each talk about the pieces of that puzzle and how together we can address the whole state of education in Colorado. And to keep focus on the future, each of our speakers is a student or is speaking on behalf of one too young to speak for themselves.
Hello, my name is Luna. I graduated from Oberlin High School in Aurora, Colorado. I'm a part of the youth group called Young African Americans for Social and Political Activism. I'm a first-generation student. Because my family is from Eritrea, so education is very important to me. Since my parents moved here for us to have a better education, I feel as if that's what I should have. I have seen budget cuts in not only my school, but in my friends too. I've experienced problems from not having enough desks in my class, having to share textbooks, or not having any at all, to running out of school lunches for students. Times have changed due to budget cuts. For one, when my older sister went to Oberlin 6 years ago, she had more opportunities for a better education. I can only imagine how things will change when my younger brother starts high school. Every student deserves a quality education he or she needs to succeed as a member of their communities and in their career. Every student means every student. Whether they were born in poverty, live with a foster family, have special needs, or those whose English is not their first language. I'm hopeful that next year's legislators will make that happen because of the coalition of people that have already joined to make 2015 the year of the student. That includes groups like the Autism Society of Colorado, Colorado Association for Gifted and Talented, Colorado PTA, Every Child Matters, and Great Education Colorado. This piece of the puzzle is for meeting the heads of every student, no matter how they learn and no matter what challenges they face.
Hello, my name is Ansley Brophy, and I'm from the rural town of Yuma, Colorado, and I just graduated from Yuma High School with a class of 49 students. I also am here to represent the Rural Caucus as their student liaison. In a rural school, there are two challenges. One, of teacher hiring and retention, and two, of the opportunities available to rural students. Teacher hiring and retention is a challenge because in the past 4 years, I've only had 7 teachers retained and only 3 core teachers. It is difficult to retain teachers because we don't have dating or entertainment, theater, or malls. Instead, we have to rely on the good life of smog or traffic. But when they see a $30,000 paycheck and with no budget, it becomes even harder to entice teachers to want to come and teach in a rural area. The second challenge we have is the fact that there are limited opportunities for rural students. In my school, I only have 9 advanced courses offered through your whole high school degree. And next year, we are unfortunately cutting trigonometry because of budget cuts. I have 3 younger siblings, and it is sad to me that they will never be able to be taught trigonometry. So I put this piece up. For every student everywhere should be offered a good education.
Good morning. My name is Janine.
Mackey. I'm here in support with Great Education Colorado, and I'm here representing a parent who had strep throat, so I'm going to be reading her story. And obviously this hits home with me because I have 3 little ones who are over there, all elementary age, and one who's about to go into ECE this fall. So I'm going to read Patrice Bridges' story to you. My name is Patrice Bridges, and I'm speaking for my son, Junior, because at just about 3 years old, he's not quite ready to talk to the press. Last year, we knew how important it was for Junior to be in a quality preschool, and we were lucky to get a Colorado preschool program slot. There are thousands of kids in Colorado who are eligible for the Colorado preschool program, but there aren't nearly enough slots for all of them. We found our way to Family Flex, an early childhood education center that is rated 4 stars by Qualistar. Unfortunately, the Colorado preschool program only pays for 2.5 hours of preschool per day. That's not enough time for a parent like me. I was going to Metro State to earn a degree so I can provide my family in the future. And 2.5 hours isn't nearly enough time for kids, either to get all the benefits of early learning to make sure that they're truly ready for school when they go to kindergarten. Family Flex was a blessing for our family. They made up the difference between what the Colorado preschool program paid and the cost of giving Junior the highest quality care and education for a longer day. They contributed more than $4,000 to his education. Most families aren't that lucky, but every child needs and deserves this kind of quality preschool that my son received. It shouldn't be a lottery of whether you're lucky enough to find a provider who can do what Family Flex did for us. We need the legislature to spend 2013 finding a way to make quality preschool available for all kids who need it, not just the lucky ones. Today I'm hopeful that this will happen because of the individuals and groups who are signing on to the Year of the Student Project. That includes names we're used to hearing in connection to preschool, like Anna Jo Haynes, the Colorado Children's Campaign, but also Colorado Seniors for Kids, the Colorado Statewide Parent Coalition, and the United States Students Association. Because we are all standing together for all of our kids. Junior's piece of the puzzle is for every child who's ready to learn and ready to thrive when they start school. Thank you.
My name is Zeke Johnson, and I'm an undergraduate student and representative at large at the University of Colorado at Boulder. I'm currently pursuing 2 degrees, one in business and one in Spanish, in addition to a certificate in international business. I'm also a graduate at the Jeffco K-12 system, where I received my International Baccalaureate diploma at Lakewood High School. While a senior in high school, and neither of my parents had a degree, not attending college was never an option. I decided to stay in Colorado because I truly believe in the amazing beauty of this state, both in terms of nature and human capital. I recently have embarked on my application for the Peace Corps to depart in the summer of 2013. Part of the application process is outlining all of my financial obligations and how I can satisfy them. I discovered that my debt thus far, through 4 years of university, is $50,000, a staggering amount considering I attend an in-state institution. Throughout my childhood, my mother tried to instill in me a strong sense of financial responsibility. Because while scrutinizing financial statements daily, she understands the importance of making smart financial decisions. I retained a lot of her wisdom, but to pay for college, I have no option but to take out loans and to work as a server, because I am solely responsible for paying the entirety of my education costs. I'm not the only student, however, crippled by our state's failure in higher education. Colorado is 51st in per capita funding for higher education, which has forced colleges and universities throughout the states to increase their tuition. Throughout my 4 years at CU Boulder, tuition has increased nearly 10% each year, which means that it is becoming exceedingly more difficult for students to continue paying for their education. Additionally, Colorado has cut a larger percentage than any other in higher education budgets. That affects courses and programs offered to all students. For me specifically, that meant that I was not able to pursue a degree in Swedish because my freshman year that program was cut. Finally, 66% of tuition and fee burden now lies directly on the shoulders of students and families. Not long ago, that percentage was around 30. Accordingly, many students are now going out of state and choosing places such as Kansas, New Mexico, Wyoming, and Nebraska. Colorado cannot afford to have our best and our brightest seek higher education elsewhere. Colorado should be a national leader, and therefore all students should have access to higher education, irrespective of their backgrounds. However, as tuition increases and state funding decreases, fewer students can afford that education here in Colorado. I am, however, optimistic that this year, the year of the students, we will ignite a new initiative to restructure state funding in Colorado for higher education, such that students will not have to face increased tuition, decreased state-funded aid, and then also eliminating essential programs which allow our students to be prepared to lead this nation. Support for this initiative does not just come from higher education organizations, such as the Colorado Commission on Higher Education, but is instead a community group, and that extends to, for example, the Bell Policy Center, the Council of Churches, and the Greater Park Hill community. Today, we are all united, demanding affordable, quality higher education. And my piece of the puzzle today is quality, accessible higher education for all students. Thank you.
I'm one of the current higher ed students that Zeke talked about, and I represent students who are preparing to enter the workforce. Because the recession took a toll on my parents, I have gone into significant student debt to get through college. But I want to talk about another aspect of my experience in higher education. I work with TRIO Student Support Systems, which is a service that provides support and training for students who represent the first in their families to attend college. I come from a large family of 8 from a low socioeconomic background. My father passed away from cancer after hitting bankruptcy in my sophomore year of college, and my mother has faced foreclosure and while trying to raise 4 boys as a single parent. She's faced foreclosure twice. How does someone like me feel like they can continue to go to college and achieve their academic goals? Coming from low socioeconomic status and dealing with family loss, how do we expect the at-risk kids that I represent to complete their educations if we do not support them as a society? In my first year at UC Denver, I came to TRIO because my older brother, who was the first to graduate with a degree in my family, knew I would need the support that TRIO has to offer to complete my degree and pursue a career in international diplomacy. They have helped me plan my coursework every semester. I will earn my degree in 5 years versus potentially 6 years and even more student debt without the help of TRIO. This is the kind of support that all students deserve. They should have access to helping them find a way to fund their education and find their career path. We know that most jobs of the future, at least good jobs that will support a family, will require education or training that goes beyond high school. Some will need a 4-year degree, some a certification, and some an associate's degree. But Colorado is not graduating enough students that are qualified to take those good jobs. Students, especially at-risk students, and students from low-income, first-generation families like myself, the ones that I work with, need help in learning about their options. They need advice and counseling about the steps they need to take starting in middle school to be prepared for the good jobs and for college. There are great ideas about how to help kids get ready for work and college. Ideas like giving real college and career advice to every middle school and high schooler student. The ASCENT program that allows students to graduate from high school in 5 years, with both a high school degree and an associate's degree that sets them on a path towards a career. But most students do not have access to these opportunities because districts just cannot afford it. That's bad news for students, but it is also bad news for business owners. They can't find the skilled workers that they need. It's also bad news for colleges and for students who have to deal with remediation issues. Colorado could be and should be a leader in getting students ready for the Colorado jobs of the 21st century. I'm hopeful today that we can make this happen. Because of the growing support for the Year of the Student, not just among organizations and individuals interested in workforce development, like Adams County Education Consortium, and business owners like Kevin Lung, who is here today representing dozens of business owners who have already signed on to the Year for the Student call to action. But also organizations like Get Smart Schools, AFT Colorado, and 100 Black Men of Denver, because we're all standing together for all students. My piece of the puzzle is for every student having access to the opportunities they need to find their path to long-term success in the 21st century economy. Thank you.
There's still one piece missing. That's the glue that holds public education together from preschool to college. Great teachers. There are many teachers who have made a difference in my education. One that stood out to me was my 8th grade language arts teacher, Mr. Kevin Wood. He made a difference because he made class fun and engaging, and he is a teacher who pushes you to exceed your own expectations. I'm hopeful that Colorado will do much more to support great teachers like Mr. Wood because of all the people and organizations standing up for the Year of the Student, including Michelle Pearson, the 2011 Colorado Teacher of the Year, who is here with us today. So the last puzzle piece is for every student to have the opportunity to learn from well-supported, highly effective teachers in every one of their classrooms. I started the Douglas County Kid Campaign because I can already tell that education cuts aren't going to stop by themselves. We have to do something about it. The story of the 2012 legislature is written and done, but the story of the 2013 legislative session is ours to write, and this is what all the organizations are calling for. We, the undersigned Coloradans, respectfully demand that the General Assembly make 2013 the Year of the Student, using the legislative session to create and find funding for a P20 public education finance system that matches reforms, mandates, and accountability measures with the resources necessary to ensure that every student is successful. Some people may be wondering, what can the legislature do? Well, they can do the same thing my parents and teachers tell me to do when I've got a tough problem to figure out. They can think outside the box, be creative, take responsibility, be a problem solver, don't make excuses, ask for help when they need it, and most importantly, don't give up just because something is hard, especially if it's the right thing to do. That's all the Year of the Student is about, asking our leaders to roll up their sleeves and work together to fix this problem. Because if they don't, it's the students who keep paying the price. We can make 2013 the Year of the Student if supporters of public education will join us by signing the call to action and signing up for the organizations they belong to. Go to 2013forstudents.org to sign the call to